So I've noticed something pretty odd. People really do not like Joel Embiid and James Harden. I just can't put my finger on why though.
Going right, gonna go coast to coast. Let's get to the city last week. An incredibly special moment.
Hey, I tell you what, that's a takedown by James Harden. That's a takedown by James. He just laid on Michael Carter Williams' back.
On Chicago's number 7.
I tell you what, that's a bad call. Yeah,
well, after seeing that, I don't blame you. Recently, I've seen an uptick in anti-Embiid discourse on my timeline with a little Harden hate on the side. So naturally, the inner detective in me had to get to the bottom of this.
Where's the trigger?
Judging from the mountain of evidence provided by online discussions, I have come to my conclusions as to why such disdain is put on display for these players. Let's start with number 1. Embiid and Harden are both players who know how to play to a whistle. In NBA circles, purposely playing in a way to get to the free throw line is called foul bait. Now this differs from someone like Shaq. He naturally was getting fouled a ton by defenders because they could not guard him and he was not a good free throw shooter. Now to a degree, that first part is true for Harden and Embiid as well. They are two of the best offensive forces in their positions in the last decade. Although if they were only getting fouled because people cannot guard them, I do not think there would be so much of an issue with it. The baiting aspect seems to be the biggest issue. Fouls slow down the flow of the game and can cause a game to become unwatchable, especially if it feels like every few possessions the game is coming to a halt due to someone clearly playing to draw a foul. Just imagine you're watching a video and every few seconds, it has to buffer.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
Harden and Embiid have become dependent on getting that whistle in some aspects. It is a big part of their scoring output, so naturally their game incorporates trying to draw many fouls. Embiid's reaction to those calling it foul baiting probably does not help his case either.
Against the New York Knicks, a very mundane play, to be honest with you. I don't know if you remember this play, but this is a great example of what I like to call foul baiting.
Yeah, that's not foul baiting.
This is what we're going to talk about here.
But you play basketball. This is basketball IQ. Like, I'm in a penalty. And right before that play, I don't know if it was before that play or the play after. I just knew that, they had a couple fouls. And it's easy. Like, this is basketball IQ. So people are always saying flops or, foul baiting and all that stuff. That's just me being smarter than everybody else. Like, if we're in a penalty, you know what I'm about to do. You know what Chris Paul is about to do. Like, we're just smarter than everybody else. Like, and that's the rules of the game, man. We just take advantage of it, and that's not my fault. That's not his fault. That's not anybody's fault. I'm just, if I'm in a penalty, like, you should know what's coming. Like, you should be studying the game, and you should know me by now because you know that at some point, if we're in a penalty, I'm going to swipe through and I'm going to the free throw line. So keep your hands off of me.
The funny thing is, I don't disagree with them.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
It's all within the rules, then it's fair game, even if it comes off as distasteful. Now, best believe other NBA players also took advantage of these rules too. However, Harden and Embiid were by far the most egregious offenders. Nobody gave Kevin Durant or Paul Pierce as much crap about how they drew cheap fouls because it was not an intricate part of their games. That is why when the NBA made rule changes last season to no longer call fouls on unnatural basketball movements, it did not affect Kevin Durant's scoring. There are times it is evident that Harden and Embiid's scoring efficiency declines in the playoffs because they are not getting the same foul calls. So many of the same shots they take in the regular season that result in fouls are now bad shots in the playoffs. Which brings me to my second reason as to why fans take such an issue with Embiid and Harden: their lack of playoff success. Both players have a reputation for getting to the playoffs and failing to rise to the occasion.
And hey, just so you know, it's not that common. It doesn't happen to every guy, and it is a big deal.
I knew it! Harden notoriously has floundered in big moments where his performance might have made the difference in winning a championship or just getting to the finals altogether. During his younger Thunder days and lone finals appearance, Harden did not live up to the standards set by his Sixth Man of the Year award he won during the regular season, or even his performances in the previous series against the Spurs. Then when he was the star of his own team with the Houston Rockets, his playoff pitfalls became even more pronounced. There was a lack of consistency from Harden that mirrored a roller coaster at King's Dominion.
This has given me a lot to think about.
His gameplay would be up and down during pivotal series, which is less than ideal for your cornerstone player. He deserves credit for getting his team to the Western Conference Finals and being in positions to win big. However, when you fall short every time you're in position to do the unexpected, failure becomes the expectation in spite of your greatness.
Oh, that's no ball, nigga!
Who all remembers when the Rockets had the 2018 Golden State Warriors on the brink of elimination and wet the bed? It could have been one of the marquee moments of Harden's career. Yes, Chris Paul was out for the rest of the series after their Game 5 win with a hamstring injury. I personally call it the hamstring of doom.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Yeah, that was a little much.
Yes!
However, I'd say in a game where your team misses 27 straight threes and only loses by 9, you had a chance to win that game and did not deliver. Especially Harden, who shot 2 of 13 from deep in the game, which is a putrid 15%. A far cry from his three-point percentage of 36.7 during the regular season. Not to mention the times where he fell short as Embiid's teammate in Philly. Game 6 against the Heat in 2022. The closeout games against the Boston Celtics in 2023. Take your pick.
Come on, man! That's too easy!
While Harden has well-noted moments of coming up short, one could argue Embiid is the bigger playoff disappointment. Harden has at least been able to get his teams to the conference finals on various occasions, in a tougher conference I might add. Embiid is over here making Harden's playoff performance look like prime Michael Jordan in elimination games.
Arrest that man!
Captain.
Arrest him!
Despite 7 consecutive playoff appearances, Embiid has not been able to get his teammates over the conference semifinals hump once. I'd understand Embiid's struggles if he was constantly running into teams with a larger gap in talent margin. However, that's rarely been the case. Even in scenarios where it's arguable, Embiid is often still the best player in the series without a matchup who can guard him defensively. He is so dominant, he has the ability to sway the direction of a series. Fortunately, Embiid and Avatar Aang have one big thing in common.
But when the world needed him most, he vanished.
I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm just doing what I'm doing.
Guys, thank you for watching this video this far into the video. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Even leave a little comment if you're midway through this video saying me what your favorite part of the video is so far. Okay guys, appreciate you for watching. Let's get back to the rest of the video. Now, all jokes aside, it is only fair I acknowledge that injuries have often plagued Embiid's playoff runs. Dude has dealt with fracturing not only his left eye socket, but also his right one. Fought through knee tendonitis, a concussion, an ankle injury, tearing his meniscus, spraining his meniscus, and viruses too. In the grand scheme of things, Embiid has some of the worst playoff luck I have ever seen. Either he has 10 black cats in his home or his durability attribute is damn near at 0. I bounce back and forth between which is likely the reason.
I'm fighting for my life!
In reality, we have yet to see a true playoff campaign for Embiid where he is entirely injury-free and had a roster that actually fit perfectly around him. However, when it comes to playing through injuries, 2 quotes from Kobe Bryant come to mind for me. The first, "I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. No matter what the injury, unless it's completely debilitating, I'm going to be the same player I've always been. I'll figure it out, I'll make some tweaks, some changes, but I'm still coming." And then here's the second.
How the hell do you tolerate that kind of pain? You know, I use this. I tell this example, and I think this is the best way to explain it. You know, you have a hamstring injury, you pull your hamstring really, really badly. You can barely walk, right? Let alone play anything. Soccer, basketball, volleyball, whatever it is. Can't do anything. Doctor tells you go home, sit up on the couch, rest your hammy, right? Stay off of it, don't get up, no sudden movements. You're at home, all of a sudden a fire breaks out in the home, right? Your kids are upstairs, you know, wife is, you know, wherever she may be, you know, this shit's going down, all right? I'm willing to bet that you're gonna forget about your hamstring, you're gonna sprint upstairs, you're gonna grab your kids, you're gonna make sure your wife's good, you're getting out of that house, right? Hamstring be damned. You're not gonna feel your hamstring, right? And the reason is because the lives of your family are more important than the injury of your hamstring. And so when the game is more important than the injury itself, you don't feel that damn injury.
Now, with these 2 quotes in mind, understand that Kobe Bryant is my favorite NBA player ever.
Say that again.
Ever. So when it comes to playing through injuries, I naturally hold people to the standard set by Kobe. Embiid has done his best to play in the playoffs despite his injuries, which he deserves credit for. However, his gameplay just leaves a lot to be desired at times when he does. One of the most egregious examples of this was his MVP season. When I say Embiid was a man on a mission in the regular season, he was possessed. He won the scoring title, averaging 33.1 points per game while shooting 54.8% from the field and 33% from three. He also averaged 11.7 free throw attempts, 10.4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Then the Monstars came to planet Earth and took his talent. Actually, I don't think Embiid was in that movie, but he might as well should have been.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Embiid played well enough to get his team in a position to eliminate the Celtics in either Game 6 or Game 7. Despite solid play from Embiid in Game 6, the Celtics were able to force a Game 7. In arguably the biggest game of Embiid's career during his most dominant season, it felt like he and Harden were competing to see who could blow the moment more. Spoiler alert, it was actually Harden. Again! And although Embiid only put up 15 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks, he shot 27.8% from the floor on 5 of 18 shots and 0 of 4 from deep. It was a disappointing showing in a moment where it felt like Embiid could put on a career performance to upset a conference rival. All the self-proclamations of being the most dominant and the best player in the world begin to feel real hollow when you can never live up to it in the biggest moments. It's fair to note his injuries, but at some point, if you are regularly injured and cannot be your best in the biggest moments, that is not just a circumstance, but it is who you are as a player. Healthy postseason runs for a top 5 player should be the norm, not the exception.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Fans take note of that and begin to push back, especially when you are being compared and propped up in comparison to one of their favorite players. Which brings me to my concluding reason: opposing fan bases. Fanboys exist in every form of entertainment, and sports are no different. A fanboy by definition is someone who's an extremely or overly enthusiastic fan of someone or something. Now just try to imagine a bunch of social media forums with people asking questions like, who's the best big man in the NBA? Who are the best shooting guards of all time? Who's the best player in the Eastern Conference? Or who is the best player in the NBA? Naturally, you'll get a range of differing answers to any of those questions, with a heated debate not far behind. It can get dark in these trenches, trust me. Here is a sneak peek into some of that discourse.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived. Too much?
Fanboys exude a level of tribalism where they are not only content with the success of their team or the player they are rooting for, they prey on the downfall of their rival or opposition as well, in hopes to further prop up the side they support. Opposing fan bases are the loudest when Embiid or Harden fall short in any type of fashion. It's become a loud part of NBA discourse that can even trickle to national media and vice versa.
Now, I hope this is a wake-up for Joel, this Olympic experience. He has not played well, and I'm hoping he's like, yo, man, I got to get in better shape. Because me personally, I think that's one of the reasons he's always injured. I don't think he's in good enough shape. But I think the way he's played, which is not well during the Olympics, should be a wake-up call for him. Like, you know what? Yeah. I got to get in better shape. I got to get healthy. Because if we don't win the championship or go deep in the playoffs, it's going to be because of me. And you know, he keeps getting hurt. And like I said, he got to take some responsibility for that.
Grift culture has made basic sports conversation online nearly insufferable. People make whole careers of hating on specific players. Skip Bayless.
What it do, baby? He needs some milk.
So why would fans be any different? When you consider all these factors, it is clear as day why Embiid and Harden get so much hate. The question is, when will that ever change? And honestly, probably never. As many players have proven before them, even winning a championship does not eradicate that vitriol entirely. However, it will change one criticism forever. No one would ever be able to say that either the players is not a champion or a winner. And that's what really matters at the end of the day though, right?
You got your rhythm going now.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning into this video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a comment down below, leave a like on this video, and make sure you also hit that subscribe button and hit that post notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Let me know you guys' thoughts on the comment section down below. Are you a fan of Joel Embiid or James Harden? If not, let me know why. If you are, tell me down below. I personally do think Embiid is the second best center in the NBA behind Nikola Jokic, and I think Harden... Harden, to me, his standing went very far down when he was trying to force his way out of Houston. He put on what a lot of people say is the fat suit.
I love those uniforms, by the way. I just want to talk about some aesthetics. James Harden definitely had a pregame meal, averaging 17 points per game over the last 4.
And he got himself out of shape, and then he got hurt in that following season. And Harden was one of the best Iron Men in the league because he always kept himself in great shape and was always a hard trainer when it came to off-season workouts, and then that all just spiraled out when he was trying to force his way out of Houston. So to me, that lowered him down. Obviously, we've seen his play has not been able to live up to what we aspired from him in those Houston days, but he is still one of the best playmakers in this league, so I still give him that credit. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And of course, guys, if you have any topics that you want me to cover in a future video, go ahead and comment those ideas down below as well. And also follow me on social media. I've also followed KBR Sports on the social media pages as well. And of course, I appreciate all of your support, guys. If you've watched it this far, I appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, I'm out.